coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the best point of view, what we know. So let's go. What up? What up? What up? What's up with everybody? What's up, KD? What up? What's going on with everybody, man? Yeah, man. Fast Point of View episode season 2, episode 12, man. Getting it in. Oh man. I had a busy weekend last weekend. I actually wasn't going to go live today, man, but I was like, you know what? I got to at least try to do a one live because I got enough videos throughout the week or enough shorts, and I got to make them short because people's attention span. I know y'all be working and y'all got so much other stuff going on that, you know what I mean? I know it'd be hard for y'all to watch and tune in and some people to follow up. So I'm trying to cut them down in the shorts and videos, and I try to keep the lives as short as possible so that, you know what I mean? So that when I do chop them up in the shorts, that it goes right through, man. AI is a wonderful thing, man. Shout out to my AI assistant. You know what I mean? Shout out to that for sure, because wasn't for that. So sometimes when y'all see the misspelling, when there's misspelling on names and the captions or whatever, that's AI, you know what I'm saying? Picking up on my accent. Just the way I pronounce words sometimes comes out as you hear, I got kind of a Maryland and Pittsburgh accent. They're not the same, but we sound the same, you know what I mean? But there's a real I can't even pronounce it. I can't pronounce it. I can't even explain it, right? I can't explain the difference between a Pittsburgh accent and a Maryland accent. I can hear it myself. Like I would be able to know if somebody's from Baltimore or, you know what I mean, Maryland or from Pittsburgh, you know, I would because I grew up in that. But to y'all, we might sound the same, you know, or similar. So I'm not even going to go there right now. But I got a live show for y'all today, man. I put in some work on this show, man. You know, I got some things we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about some other news too. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some other stuff that's going on, and I like to keep it messy a little bit, but I'll do that at the end. You know what I'm saying? I'll try to keep all the sports before I get into the other stuff. You know what I mean? At the end, and I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. I'm just gonna give my opinion on things and just keep it moving from there. But I hope that everybody had a wonderful week. And Katie, you are always here. If ain't nobody else in here, you're definitely in here. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you to the fullest. So we gonna start off, and thank y'all for tuning in. By the way, hit the like button, man. You know what I'm saying? That helps a lot, man. I have been picking up a lot of views. I'm getting a lot of different views, but not a lot of people hitting the like button out there, man. And that helps with the algorithm, man. If there's a like and a dislike button. If you don't like the video, hit the dislike button. I encourage you to do that too. That, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. I only can grow from constructive criticism. That's only how I can grow. I only can get better out here if y'all letting me know honestly what's going on. That's not hating. And there's a difference between that, by the way. There's a difference between hating and just being honest with somebody, giving constructive criticism. But nowadays, when you're honest with somebody or you're giving them constructive criticism, it is considered hating, and that's not the truth at all. That's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? It is not. People only can grow from constructive criticism. That's how we learn how to not make mistakes. Like you didn't get a punishment because you were doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? You did something wrong to receive your punishment. However, and whatever that was, you know what I'm saying? You did something wrong and you learn from that. Right. So there's no wrong or right thing to say. You know what I'm saying? I get thousands of people telling me I'm crazy, stop the bull-ish and this and that and everything on all kinds of videos, you know what I'm saying? But there's never a reason why, you know what I mean? Or anything else. Now, if you could disagree with what I'm saying all you want to, but that's your prerogative. I could care less if you disagree with me or not, but I would love to have a conversation though, if you can have a conversation, if you're not emotional, because I noticed that too out here. A lot of people get emotional and they have emotions in their comments or what you're saying. It doesn't make any sense. Like we all know when I was talking about, for instance, I was talking about Shador being undersized. Like y'all know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about being undersized. I'm talking about being undersized as far as NFL standards. I'm not talking about being undersized. And I also did say Dylan Gabriel was undersized too, but for some reason I received a comment from somebody, and it had to be a super fan or something. But they're like, let's stop with the bullshit. Russell Wilson's undersized. Well, what round did Russell Wilson go in? Was Russell Wilson a first round pick? Was Russell Wilson has what arguably you can argue he got one of the best deep balls in the NFL for like the past 10 years, right? What are we talking about? But you know better than that. And that person, I'm sure that person who put that comment in there didn't even believe that themselves neither. They also knew that too. Like, yeah, Russell Wilson, he got a strong arm. He did go in the later rounds. He wasn't a first round pick. So, you know what I mean? Just stuff like that, you know. But I'm willing to have a conversation though, because I don't think anything that you could say can actually be stupid. You know what I mean? Now, there's other people that might call you that and say that, but I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's keep it moving, man. And I'm going to jump right up into it. My Steelers talk. Shout out to everybody joining in. Y'all know when I'm working the slides, I really can't see all the comments or whatever. But yeah, like, you know, what up? What up? Jumping Joe, what? What did it say? Jumping Joe host. What? Jumping Joho fat. What is that? No, but I hope I ain't getting your name wrong. But what's up, man? What's up with you, man? I hope that you're tuning in, man. And you go hit that like button, hit that subscribe button too, man. See a new face. I like that. What up, though? What's up? What's up? You said you Puerto Rican? You Puerto Rican, Katie? I didn't know that. I ain't never seen you, so I don't know. But yeah, and Drew Brees was undersized, though. He was. Drew Brees was undersized, but we also know that what round did Drew Brees go in, though, jumping? Like, what round did he drafted in? He had a strong arm, too, by the way. He was good, but what round did Drew Brees go in? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is. As far as NFL standards, those guys are considered undersized. Not undersized doesn't really have too much to do with me. You know what I'm saying? I was always short my whole life. I've knocked big guys out on the football field. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you got to have heart and you got to have a love for the game. You got to be meaner than a lot of other people on the football field. Like you do at the quarterback position, you got to be cerebral at the same time, which is a very hard position to play. Quarterback is not easy. Playing quarterback is not an easy position to play at all. But the things that really get me with a lot of the things out there, and hold on, let me go back because now I'm getting into some general conversation. I'm not getting into my Steelers talk, so I got to go back to my other slide. So what gets me sometimes with people is like we know better with a lot of the things that's going on out there. Now, I really was going to just come up with a whole slide on film from high school all the way through college, but I'm like, man, I'm leaving Shador alone because at this point I look like a hater out there. You know what I mean? I sound like one, and I'm really not, yo. You know what I mean? I want him to be successful. Shit, I wanted him on the Steelers. Like I said some crazy shit like we should trade TJ Watt to move up in the draft to get Shador Sanders. I said that shit. Like you know what I mean? Like I like Shador Sanders. You know what I mean? Now, I know that's laughable as shit. You laughing, everybody laughing, and you saying crazy shit. Like, yes, I say crazy shit sometimes too. Like, that's my show is called That Fan's Point of View. I am a fan, and sometimes I come from my perspective. I give my perspective on sports and share my knowledge with the audience and the things that I've gained along the way, right? I just don't, you know, like, come on. Like, let's be real with that. But certain people out there is going to say certain things, and it's a shame that we cannot take criticism at all. And what I'm going to get into in the other news is going to shock a lot of people, but it just goes to show like certain people are above a certain standard, and certain people could get away with anything. Like, so when you're so popular out there, let's just say I was a million view YouTuber, all the content creator all the time on sports, and I just hitting a million every time I drop a video, and I'm so popular. I got 2 million followers and everything else. Like, I can do no wrong out here. I could tell y'all whatever the hell it is, and I couldn't do no wrong, because there'll be so many people out there defending the bullshit that I do, and it's sad. Really, it's really sad that things are like that. But you know, but I pride myself on a different I pride myself. I got too much integrity to come out here and drop bullshit. Now, and I learned along the way, if I don't know something, it's okay to say I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I will find out, and I'll be able to come back and give y'all that information. I'd rather give y'all some valid information or give y'all my opinion. And when I'm speculating, I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? So that we can have a conversation. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of things that I learned out here, and this shit is not real. But I want to be real. We always talk about, oh, this person's a real one. This person's a real one. We too loose with fucking words nowadays. Like elite is loose as shit. The goat is loose as shit. Like, do y'all know what the greatest of all time means? Like, that means a lot. That's loose. That word is loose as shit now. You know what I mean? Elite is just loose. Like, do you know what elite really is? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do we know? Like, come on, like, we can't keep being loose. I don't know. I'm just trying to do my little due diligence and do my little part on trying to restore a little bit of order in this new way of doing things. You know what I'm saying? So that when I go look back and in the history and people pull me up, you know what I'm saying? When I get to a certain level, because I know I'm going to rise, because I've been grinding my ass off out here. When I look back on my video, I'm gonna be able to look back and say, damn, I'm proud of what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be like, damn, I was talking a whole bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm real researched on my shit. But that's why people fuck with me. But that's enough about me and everything else I'm going out there, because that's for the other news. We'll get into all the other topics in the other news, man. There's a whole bunch of things. Yes, man. And I appreciate you for tuning in, because that's all we can do. That's all we can do. You know what I mean? And I love it, Katie. I love it. I listen to you because you're a real fan just like yes, I am. You know what I mean? I just got the courage to come out here. Everybody can't do it. It's hard work. Don't get it twisted. This is another job. Content creating is another job. And to be honest with y'all, I don't put in enough time with it. You know, I really don't, even though I drop videos all week long. Like, I don't put in enough time with this, but I have other things to take care of. You know what I mean? I have a life. I have a family that I have to take care of, children that need to be nurtured, that need to be taught things, and I have to spend time with them. Right now, like, I slept in and I missed my brother-in-law's graduation. Shout out to him. It's crazy. Like, he graduated from college, like second degree in college, and I'm not there to support that. And that shit, it hurts, but you know what I mean? How many hours you put into it? I put in, so I'm working all week. I drive truck all week, jumping. I drive truck all week long. And I'm driving anywhere between 50 to 70 hours per week while I'm out. And mind you, I'm married, I'm a husband, and I'm a father. And I also coach some of their, volunteer coach some of my kids' sports. So I put in all day today. So I've been in here since 7 this morning, working on video clips and everything else, getting all my AI ready, my slides ready. So it's about 11. It's about quarter to 12 right now here on the East. So I'll probably be here when I get off another 3 hours after I end this live. So I spend a whole day. So we'll say I'll spend about 10 hours doing it, then another hours clipping it. But that's not enough time. That's not enough time. You got to be doing this every single day. If you want to be a successful content creator or YouTuber or influencer, you got to be doing this every single day. I even was told by somebody that I should be making videos while I'm in my truck. Like, damn, that's like, I'm working. Like, I'm driving 600 miles. I'm usually jamming, like, and I'm driving, anywhere between 6 to almost 800 miles a day. On top of that, so you're just mentally exhausted after you get done driving that long, because mind you, people don't understand, like, the fatigue driving could put on you. It's not a body, it's a mind thing. Like, I gotta shut down. You know what I'm saying? You just want to just either watch TV or you want to read something to get your mind back on track, because there's a lot going on while you're driving on the road. Got to watch for a lot of other people. I don't want to hurt your loved one, your mom, your grandma, your uncle, your aunt, whoever it is that might be traveling. Like I got a 80,000-pound bomb. If I hit something with that big ass truck, like it's over for them and possibly me. Like there's no coming back from that. So I got to be on point. You know what I'm saying? When I'm driving up and down the mountains and making sure that I'm not going over 55 miles an hour going downhill, like that shit's dangerous. Like I don't care how well you know how to drive a damn tractor trailer. Like if you're going down the 77 mountains, heading from Virginia to North Carolina or any mountains for that matter, going more than 55 miles an hour is just stupid. It's just dumb as shit. It's just dumb. I'm just keeping it real. It's just dumb. Like I've been driving now for 9 years. I got 9 years experience behind the wheel, and I'll tell you, it's the dumbest shit that you possibly can do, because you're heavy as fuck back there. Mind you, somebody in them trailers, we can have anywhere between, you can have anywhere between 10,000 pounds to 42,000 pounds in the back of that trailer. And the vehicle in the trailer empty with the tractor, it's already putting you somewhere between 30,000 to 8,000 pounds, and how heavy the driver may be. All that matters. All the shit we got in there, and it's so you put all that together, that's 80,000 pounds. You know what I'm saying? You hit something going that even 55 miles an hour, you're gonna crush them. So going downhill, that shit's not smart. It's just not. But you got those guys out there that's in a rush to go somewhere, and all we call it, the truck drivers out there, what we call it is hurry up and wait. You just want to hurry up and go wait somewhere, because we'll be stuck at a fucking Sam's Club distribution center or a Walmart distribution center sitting there for 4 hours waiting to get loaded up or unloaded. And that's just how long it be. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, it's crazy, but I don't want to bore y'all with the other talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to bore y'all. I hope y'all ain't too bored. Thank y'all for tuning in, though. By the way, you say, yep, I don't fall asleep at the wheel. I won't do it. I stay up. You know what I mean? I do. I really do stay up. But man, we about to get up into the Steelers talk, man, for real. I'm for real this time. I'm gonna get up into my Steelers talk. Everybody, I appreciate everybody tuning in out there. Because it's real out here, man. It's real. Pittsburgh Steelers. We got a lot going on, y'all. We have a ton of going on. Like, I cannot tell you, I cannot explain how much stuff we got going on right now. I'm pleased right now that we are where we're at, you know what I mean, in the news cycle, because they're going to hate on us. They do it every year. But I wanted to share, and I hope this personal X don't get mad at me for sharing this, but I do want to share this this graph that I seen, because this is a Steeler, this is us. And I'm like, I hate to say it, but damn it, if this graph don't fit what we go through all the time as a Steelers fan, then I don't know what does. So this is the graph, and I don't know if y'all can see it or not. I'm not going to be able to zoom in that good on X, but what I will do is I'll minimize myself. I'll make myself as small as possible, and then I'll so I can pull this up bigger for everybody out there, so y'all can see it as big as possible. But this is pretty much what we are. And look, and I'm starting off with this, but so the schedule is released at the top, right? There are our schedules released. Then you got the analysts. So in between that, we're all looking at it like, damn, we got a tough schedule, because we really don't be having easy schedules, right? We be like, damn, we got a tough schedule. I don't know when the last time we had an easy one. Y'all could tell me, because we're not good as shit, but we're not horrible neither. So we're always right there. So we always are playing some teams that are tough outs, right? Especially with the teams we're going in with. Anyway, so then the analysts predict that the Steelers will have a losing season, right? Yep, that's what they always do. They always hating on the Pittsburgh Steelers. They always do that, right? So then after they predict we have a losing season, well, during that, we're winning games. Now they're switching up. Oh, well, the Steelers might have a chance to be Super Bowl, But then we have a 9 or 10 win season, sneak into the playoffs, get our ass whooped, embarrassing loss in the first round. And then here's Mike T analyzing the praise for overachieving with a horrible fucking team. The standard is the standard. And we're back to it all again. This is the cycle we go through as a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Let's just keep it a buck. We cannot say that this ain't true. This is true. He may not have been on point for this, like every little single thing. But damn it, if this ain't our cycle, this is our cycle. And it's tiring right now. It is very tiring to keep seeing our teams not win. And I'm going to get into something because, here with Steelers talk, that may shock some people because I try to stay on a positive route, but I'm like, we're tired of not winning. There's Steelers fans all over the USA. You can go to any state in the USA and find a Steelers fan. I don't give a damn where you at. I don't care where you at. You hear me? Don't care. You're going to find a Steelers fan there. They say we travel well. Well, we do travel well. That is true. But it's also because we have a lot of fans in that particular city. People love the Pittsburgh Steelers. And why is our brand, why do you make so much? And why we have fans everywhere in the US, one of the teams that's fans everywhere. And we're one of the cheapest teams out there. But I'm going to get into that a little bit later, though, because we got to have this conversation. And look, you said we collapsed at the end. I'm tired of this shit. It's on Tomlin. Hey, look, at this point, I can't disagree. And Katie says a lot of people been hating. Yes, they have. They have. And the thing is, Katie, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I'm just at a point now where I'm looking at this like Mike Tomlin is a great coach, right? He is a great coach, but does he have to go somewhere else to win? Like how Andy Reid was a good ass coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. He got him there a lot of the times, but he couldn't win in Philly. He goes to Kansas City and he wins. And I know y'all heard other people talk about this, like Ryan Clark and other people, but I wanted to talk about it because it's true. Like, what's going on with Pittsburgh? What is going on with our Steelers? Like, I don't get it. Like, what? I don't understand it. I do not understand what's going on. I'm looking at this like, this is crazy. This season is crazy. Like, I knew that George Pickens was probably going to be out the door because you can't be that loud like that, and you could be good, but that don't fit in Pittsburgh. You'll get paid. Do your job, shut your mouth, and you're going to get paid in Pittsburgh. It's that simple. But when you go, I want a quarterback. I don't know what he was doing behind the scenes, but he was doing something because you get paid in Pittsburgh if you're productive. That's one thing we know for sure. Hines Ward got paid. Did he not? Jerome Bettis got paid. There was people that had little problems that didn't get paid. Or people who couldn't stop smoking bud when it wasn't legal that didn't get paid. You know what I'm saying? And Katie, I feel you. You feel like we're a quarterback away from this thing, right? You feel like we're a quarterback away. And a lot of people feel like that for Pittsburgh, right? Is that really true? Are we a quarterback away from winning this? Because when you get to looking at our offense, to me, our offense is really stagnant. It's like really boring. You know what I mean? Run, pass. Unless we get a first down off one of the runs. Run, pass. Run, pass. It's very predictable. I don't know. And I kind of understand where you're coming from a little bit when you say no strategy. You know what I mean? When you're like, there's no strategy. You know what I mean? For the wins. And it just seems so, there's a bigger word for it, but I'm going to just say boring. You know what I mean? It's just so boring, just so methodical, just so predictable. Everything is so predictable with us. It's ridiculous. And maybe this Arthur Smith system may change some things. You know what I mean? Maybe. Let's see what happens this year. Because there was times last year where we looked really good. But then there was times where I'm like, what the hell is going on? The defense just seemed like they just gave up. Like, you know what I mean? Some of the defensive players. And I'm like, we spend all our money on defense. So when we spend everything on defense, we better have a fucking defense that don't get scored on at all. Period. And I mean, they're showing up. They're causing turnovers. They're putting us in the games. But our offense just, we can't score in the red zone. We couldn't score in the red zone. That has to stop. But I think it got to be something deeper going on. Like, we got to change things. And I said it before. I know this ain't just one of the things that needs to happen with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but we got to start paying offensive players. We have to change that. We got to keep talent. We got to retain some of these guys. We got to make the franchise a wannabe place. People want to go to Buffalo because they know they're going to get paid in Buffalo. Buffalo pays people. They're outside, cold as shit, on the snow belt, lake effect snow, just, you know what I mean? Actually worse than Pittsburgh. But they don't mind going up there. They'll get paid. But these organizations is cheaper, though. And I'll get into all that. I don't want to get it all mixed up, and I don't want to be jumping everywhere and all around with this, you know what I mean? But you said the league is run by offense. When do you have ownership that wants to play D and run the ball? We're old. And I'm going to get into that, Zai. Zai, thank you for joining in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I think that we have, I think that this bigger than that. And it's money-wise. And the Rooney's being so old, and I think we're caught up in our old ways and trying to bring back something that has to evolve. Like, we have to evolve, and I think we're not doing that just yet. You know what I mean? The league is always, defense is always going to win championships. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. Do not get that twisted. In this sport of football, defense will always win. Period. You got a good defense, but you got to have some type of an offense. You got to have a serviceable quarterback, a game manager quarterback. Yes, that is not a bad word, by the way. A guy who can go in a game, give you 200 to 275, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. You know what I mean? Just take care of the ball, hit your open guys, and have a run game. You know what I mean? And yes, Philadelphia Eagles, they had a great defense. Thank you for saying that, by the way, Jumping. They had a great defense. An awesome defense. And that's what it was. And they got a serviceable guy. Jalen Hurts is not, oh my God, he's the MVP. He's going to go. No, he's not that quarterback, but he's smart enough to get the things done. In my eyes, I'm a big fan of him because I don't think that a lot of quarterbacks can run the RPO, run pass option, the way that he does. He's cerebral when he's doing that. You know what I mean? Because you got to know when to go to a run, what the defense is showing you. Should I pass? You know, in this situation, you have to be able to read that. That's why it's called the run pass option. And all quarterbacks are not good at that because you have to be cerebral. You have to read the defense. Where's the reads coming from? Sometimes you can read the mic, and that's not the middle linebacker. That can be that's the most dangerous person in the defensive scheme that you're looking at. But normally a quarterback will start from the safety to the linebackers on down to the linemen, right? When they're reading the defense. But sometimes the RPO, you also got to pay attention to your edge rushers. You know what I mean? You got to look at the edge rushers. You think he coming with this guy. Some of the edge rushers now are acting like they're going to rush. They're bringing that outside linebacker or that nickel corner, and they're dropping that edge guy into the flats. So it's not easy at all to run that. And that's why I say he's damn good at doing it. Now, yes, they beat the Chiefs. Spagnuolo is one of the best defensive coordinators in the NFL. And we could say for sure for the past 3 years. And for Jalen Hurts to score against that defense, come on, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, he's trash. I can't do that because he's very cerebral. He comes out with a strategy for his defense to the opposing offense. And I don't know if we're doing that. I just don't know. But there's some other things too that's going on, and I want to get into all of it. So let me go ahead to the next slide. There were some words for Will Howard. I don't even know what who said what, but they said it was some brutal words for Will Howard. I don't know if y'all have read it just yet. I didn't. I wanted to save it to on the show to read it with y'all so I can learn and y'all can get a authentic reaction out of me. So once I read this, I haven't read it yet, but when I'm about to read it right now, right with y'all. So let's get it pulled up. Let's see what happens. It just says the Steelers of Will Howard receives brutal criticism. I don't know was that popping up. Brutal criticism from former NFL quarterback. I don't know. I haven't read this yet. I haven't even seen it. So this is all authentic. The Pittsburgh Steelers opted to pass on a quarterback early in the 2025 NFL draft, despite having multiple opportunities to select one. They opted out to wait until the 6th round, where they selected former Ohio State Buckeye standout quarterback Will Howard. Howard was able to lead Ohio State on a magical national championship run in 2024. He started the season as a major question mark and ended it as one of the reasons why the team made the run it did. Entering the draft, Howard was one of the more intriguing prospects to watch. He has a good arm, but not an elite arm talent. However, no one can argue with the fact that he's a proven winner and has always defied the expectations set for him. And I agree with that. I agree with that. So far, at this point, the Steelers have just two quarterbacks in their starting competition. Mason Rudolph and Howard are the two options right now. Aaron Rodgers could still sign at some point, but for now, Howard has a huge opportunity ahead of him. That being said, one former NFL quarterback has spoken out with brutal criticism for the former Buckeye star. Chris Simmons shared his thoughts on Howard in a recent appearance on the Chris Sims Unbuttoned. His opinion is not one that Pittsburgh fans or Howard will love. Why isn't Will Howard being talked about as a first rounder or second round quarterback? I don't know, because his arm is below average, Sims said. He's not incredibly accurate, and he's not the greatest athlete in the world. It's just the expectations. In response to Howard leading Ohio State to a national championship, Sims fired back and brought up how good the team was around him. There's a bunch of first-round players on a football team with him, Sims declared. Howard's getting the benefit of how awesome the team is there. Okay. See, and this is why this shit right here is why there is fans that's casuals who think that you can put on somebody how good their team was. We can't fault Will Howard for playing on a damn Ohio State Buckeyes. We can't do that. So, with that being said, let's talk about when Will Howard was at Kansas State. Let's get into that. Because he did lead them to a conference championship in the Big 12. And I believe Texas was there. Was Texas not in the conference then? Am I tripping? Wasn't Texas in the conference? Because Texas first year was in Oklahoma, by the way. Oklahoma and Texas was in the Big 12 until last year, correct? Now, I'm not saying, I'm not going to sit here and say that Will Howard is our savior. He's not. Jesus Christ is our savior. Let's just keep that. First of all, let's say that, right? Because we don't say that enough. Now, I ain't got to be perfect to say that, right? But let's get that clear. But I can't stand when people come up with that argument and say, how good was this team? Can't blame them for that. Football is a team sport. Let me say that again. Football is a team sport. It is not just Will Howard or Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson versus Michigan's defense. No, it's not like that. Chris Sims and everybody out there that's like that. It's not that. It is the team sport. When we're talking golf and tennis, sports that really don't get talked about enough, and I really don't know too much about them. So let me just keep that a buck. But those are individual sports where those people It's all on them. So what? You gonna say, well, Tiger Woods, he just had the best Nike clubs that Nike can offer. What the like? You can't. What? It didn't matter what club that man had in his hand. What iron? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 driver. He was gonna kick your ass on the golf course, right? This is a team sport, and we forget that basketball, hockey, football are team sports. They bring people together. You can't fault him for doing that. He managed a Ohio State team to a national championship despite the adversity that he did. We know Will Howard's not perfect. We know that. But he's a winner, and he knows what it takes to win. He played a horrible game at Oregon. Did some bonehead shit slid in the fourth quarter. They lost the game. Came back. The next time they played Oregon, whoop their ass. He threw a pick six at the beginning of the game against Penn State. Kid have got all in his head. Playing at Penn State is not easy. 100,000 plus fans in that stadium. You throw a pick six the beginning of the game, and he bounced back and lit there and played good, and they won the game. He managed the game. We cannot keep faulting people for that. Like that irritates me, and it's a shame that you get ex-NFL guys that come out and say silly shit like this. It really does, because look, and I ain't saying that everybody claims to be perfect or they claim to know everything that's going on, but that's a damn shame that he would come out and say something like that, because it gives validity to that. It's a team sport, and that's all I got to say. Because there's really, because all I'm gonna keep doing, no matter how I'm putting it to y'all or how I'm gonna break it down, it's always going to lead back to this is a team sport, right? Period, point blank. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the, because it's always gonna lead back to that. Whether I'm talking about the offensive line just whooping everybody's ass, because we could say, well, Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson aren't good running backs because they had one. They look at the offensive line that Ohio State paid for. Jaden Blue ain't a good running back because look at the offensive line that Texas paid for. Bashul Tootin at Virginia Tech ain't a good running back because look at the offensive line that Virginia Tech paid for. Like, what are we talking about? How stupid could you sound like that? And you played in the damn NFL. Like, come on, Nike, come on. He ran an 80-yard touchdown off of a pin and pull play at Kansas State. He ran the ball well with Chris Kleiman. He ran the ball a lot. He didn't run the ball a lot at Ohio State. But nobody talks about his if he's athletic enough. I don't think he's a savior. Will Howard got a lot to learn. But the only way you sometimes learn in the NFL is to get thrown in the fire. And him being a 6th-round pick, I doubt if his expectations is there. We're just excited to have somebody that can play the game and that knows how to win. Let's get that right. That's all we are in Pittsburgh. We like, damn, yeah, we got a quarterback who won the national championship. Like, this shit is outrageous. Like, you know what I mean? He knows what it takes to win the damn football game. We tired of getting losers in them positions. If y'all want to keep it a buck out here, that's what it is. I don't understand. Like, that's crazy to me. But I just read that with y'all, and that's my initial reaction to it. Because I got really nothing else to say to that. I think that's just ignorance. I think that's just a lazy evaluation for Chris Sims to say that. I don't disagree with the inaccuracy because he can be inaccurate at times, but he does step up into the pocket. He got to step into the pocket. Very good pocket presence, I think so. And every other trait that you want him to have mentally, he has. And there's just some things he need to work on. But I think a lot of quarterbacks in this year's draft have a lot of things you need to work on. It just ain't him or one or two things. But hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there and, can keep harping on that or whatever else. We'll keep it moving on the next topic. But that's what it is. I'll read some comments real quick. You said Howard Howard is like Tebow, a great college quarterback, but not sure about the NFL. Weak arm, can't throw sideline out route, would be a pick six in the NFL. I think he could work on that. I don't disagree. I think there's some things he could work on. He had advantages with him, more time to throw, and Chip Kelly's offense with guys wide open. All right, I agree. Two quarterbacks to watch trucking, Lenore Sellers and Austin Simmons. Austin Simmons and Lenore Sellers. I thought did he switch to running back? I don't know if he switched to running back. Help me out with that. But I thought he switched to running back. It's impossible to predict how good any QB will be once in the NFL. Brady was a 6th round pick. I think that it's hard to sit there and say how, but I do think that there's going to be some guys who will be successful in the NFL. Will Howard, he has all, like I said, he got some of the physical traits that they look for in the NFL. A lot of the physical traits, 6'4", 236. Mentally, as far as all the mental attributes or traits that you want a quarterback to have, he has some. He has a lot of those, and everything else can be worked on. Everything else can be worked on. I think so. So we'll see how that works out, and where he's going with that. But I know he's very smart, and that don't get talked about a lot too. He's very smart on top of everything else. He could have went to Yale, like fuck, like you know what I'm saying. Like when you got guys that could do that, I think that says a lot. Now I don't know what the standards is, but from my, what I know, Yale is a very high prestige school on academics, correct? So to be able to go in there and to get offers from there, I think that's just pretty good for a guy like Will Howard. He's very smart, and that's he picked up on the offense so quick. And I watched that John Gruden quarterback camp. I watched it on everybody, and I don't know if y'all have or not, but if y'all haven't, go check them out. They're great. Barstool Sports got them, and but when I'm checking them out, he picked up on that offense so damn quick. He actually installs. Give him an install. They're expected to learn it in a couple days or a week or something like that, and they come in, know the plays, know the audibles. That's not easy to do. That's not easy to do at all. He's like, and that's all we need. You don't need a super, like you don't need everybody that don't need a Patrick Mahomes. You just don't need that. Everybody don't get that. You know what I mean? So the 2000 Ravens, Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is the perfect quarterback to say he's not a world-beating ass quarterback, but he's a very good, serviceable guy who's going to come in and give you some smart ball. You can run a rock. That's everything. Running backs are so underrated. Running the ball is so underrated, but I think I got something for that later, so I don't really want to get into that right now. Just want to get into the next topic. Redemption is coming. Now, do I think that oh yeah, he's South Carolina's quarterback? Okay. All right. Simmons is the Ole Miss starter for 2025. Okay. All right. Thanks. I'm gonna get back into my college thing. That's a whole lot of research I gotta do with the college right now, because they done switched up the rosters again. So I gotta go back and do a lot of that. But redemption is coming. Do I think that Micah Fitzpatrick is gonna have a bounce back year for the Pittsburgh Steelers? I sure hope so. We definitely need his production on defense. We need his leadership on defense back there. Joey Porter Jr. takes a lot of flack. Like he's a very physical guy, and I like that about him. But the league knows that, and they pick on him for that. But receivers are very physical nowadays. They get a lot away with a lot of push-offs and everything else. You know what I mean? So he just plays tough back. And Joey Porter Jr. hasn't given up a touchdown yet, right? You know what I mean? So I like the way that he's playing. But Micah Fitzpatrick got to step up this year and lead that defensive, them safeties, that DB room. Whatever DB room that Micah Fitzpatrick is in, we need that production out of him. We definitely need that. So I hope that this year is that. But this is a big thing right now, especially amongst the Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Will we see Micah Fitzpatrick have a bounce back year? Do y'all think he's going to have a bounce back year? I'm just asking y'all because to me, I don't know. I don't know, because Mika is a great cornerback. I mean, defensive back, great safety. I think he's still one of the best in the NFL. You know what I mean? But we need that leadership. And if we can get the leadership out of him back there, we're gonna be a tough DB room to hang with. I think we got big play Slay, Joey Porter Jr., Mika Fitzpatrick. Um, Shit, our defensive line is crazy, crazy. Like Derek Harmon, he's a beast, beast. Um, Waya Black from Iowa, I think he'll be a good depth piece. He's a project, nonetheless. He's a project, but damn good project to have. 6'4", 6'5", 336, moving the way that he moves, as strong as he is. Cam Hayward, um, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, like like yo, we got our defense is set. Our defense is set. Them DBs be questionable though. DBs are questionable, and that's because of the lot of the zone that we run too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the zone we run sometimes it gets picked up on, and it makes those DBs look a little bad. But we'll see what's happening. We'll see what's happening this year, right? I don't think that's going to be able to slide. So I think Mika Fitzpatrick has a bounce back year, 2025. He comes back and he jumps and gets it. You said the cornerback room is the weakest overall. On the defense side of the ball, yeah, for sure. For sure. We try to address that. And I can't argue with that at all. I can't argue with that. He's not, and we just got finished talking about that, like how it seems like we don't have a strategy. You know what I mean? Like, and I agree with you. Like, it seems like we don't, and you gotta have that in the NFL. But we do have that. We do have one. We do have one. Like when we play Baltimore, we focus on containing Lamar Jackson. We do have one. The players, I just don't know if he's as motivating as he used to be to some of the players. You know, and that can be a problem. You know, when your voice isn't holding the same amount of weight as it used to. You know, when they're not fully bought into what you're saying. Now, do I think that he's telling them what to do the right way? Yes, but I think that sometimes people get on the football field and you see a different thing than a coach, and you try to make up for it. But by the time you try to make up for it, you already got burnt. You know what I'm saying? And corner is hard to play. Corner is hard as shit. Corner is hard as shit. I think that, you know, it is. It ain't easy. It definitely ain't easy. But they should be our cornerback room. We should be working on that a lot. And I thought that maybe we probably would address that a little bit. And I think we're trying to with some veterans. But that's definitely, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think, truthfully, we got more than just a quarterback problem. And that's just me, though. I don't know. Because I think every year you got to try to level up. You know what I mean? Now, this is just me speculating up on that. But I think every year in the NFL, you have to try to level up every position. You know what I mean? You can't stay with the same guys for too long, because everybody has a give. Everybody has something that you could pick up on and expose, right? It is what it is. That's why those guys got to stay on top of their training. They have to stay in a playbook. They have to stay with their body. You know what I mean? But it's really simple to say, and that applies for everybody. It does. It applies for everybody. But I just think that's something you have to do. Man, all that yelling. I got to stop being so emotional as a fan out here. All that yelling, man. It is what it is. It is what it is, though. Y'all already got me yelling because I don't know what's going on. Let's keep it. The price of potential. That's how I wanted to attack this, right? The price of potential. Chris Olave. I think we traded. So is it safe to say that we traded for him? I seen that we have traded second round 2026 draft pick for Chris Olave. Chris Olave has missed a ton of games due to concussions. And a lot of fans right now is worried about if Chris Olave is going to be around. And they're questioning right now, and they're saying all I've been seeing with a lot of us Steelers fans out there is Chris Olave, is he gonna is he worth it? You know, is he gonna play for us? He's a concussion away from not playing at all. But we need, you know what I mean, we do need another receiver. Is he going to be George Pickens? I don't think so, but I don't really think you need another George Pickens to make that receiver room work. It would have been great to have George Pickens there. I'm not going to lie. It would have been great, but I don't think that we need another George Pickens. Chris Olave is the receiver type that we need in that room. DK Metcalf is a beast, and the NFL knows that. He's proven that to us year in and year out. And the way that he takes care of his body, the way that he trains, we've seen many training videos of DK Metcalf. That's why we're all like, yeah, that's what it takes to be a Pittsburgh Steeler, bro. That's what it takes. I think that's just how you got to play in the AFC North. You got to have a relentless grind like that outside on the offseason. The way that DK Metcalf prepared for the game and takes care of his body is, I don't know if enough people really talk about that. I think that's one of the first things you should talk about when you talk about DK Metcalf before you even get into how great he is during the season. Like, that's what the greats did. Like Jerry Rice, like that's what Jerry Rice did. You know, that's what Randy Moss did. You know, you can't just be half stepping out there. But Chris Olave, I don't know if he's going to be hurt. I don't know if that was the greatest pickup for us. I'll let y'all be the decide. I'll let y'all decide on that. But what I will say is that I think that that's more the speed that we needed. He's only 24. You know what I mean? So for a second round pick receiver, to get a receiver 24 years old that has been proven like Chris Olave, because Chris Olave has picked up and put the Saints wide receiver room on his back. So I will say that his leadership, his mentality, it will fit the team. You know what I'm saying? Like I like a lot about what Chris Olave can bring and can do for our franchise as far as our receiver room. You know, adding another guy in there that knows what it takes to work, and he's a littler guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a littler guy, but he has had that wide receiver room on his back and played very hard, because you just don't get concussions from not playing hard. You know what I'm saying? You get concussions because you was on the field balling and then you wasn't scared of shit and maybe not playing the smartest football that you should have possibly been playing. But as far as that goes and the stats and everything, I guess we could take a look at that and see what Chris Olave has been up to. I could pull it up for y'all if y'all want to. Let me get it pulled up here. Get some of these stats pulled up for y'all. Because last year, what did he play? He only played 8 games last year. 8 games, right? I'm not tripping, right? Yeah, he played 8 games last year. So 2024 season, 8 games, 400 yards, 1 touchdown. But we've seen what he can do though. We've seen what he could do in a full season. It's a 1,000-yard guy, and he's not a guy who's gonna hog up a lot of attention. You know, he's not a number one, but he's a guy who's gonna fit that mold. Like we had two. You said Olave not worth a second with concussions. Hey, look, I'm not gonna argue with that. I'm not gonna argue that. I feel like you could be right with that. You know what I mean? I don't feel like with concussion, a second round pick for him, I'm not gonna argue with that. But just me, like I feel like to get a guy, and I'm trying to look past the concussions because injuries are almost inevitable in football, right? Like you're gonna get injured some way, somehow. Wear and tear on the body. Somehow you're gonna get injured on the football field, especially if you're out there playing as hard as he has been, right? Was we reaching a little bit? But I think we got multiple second. I can't remember if we got multiple second round picks or not. I can't remember. I don't know. But I know we got multiple thirds for next year. Couple compository picks. Got a lot of draft picks, right? He's like I said, like I was about to get into. We had two alpha males at receiver, two guys who are going to demand the ball and want to be that. I don't know if George Pickens is going to fit in at Dallas. Now, is he what Dallas needs? Yes. But CeeDee Lamb is the number one there. Is George Pickens going to be able to fall into the number 2 role in Dallas? I think he could. I'm not going to sit here and knock him because he left us, but I know for sure Chris Olave could come here and fall back and be the number 2 guy. You know what I'm saying? He's going to give us what we need. You know what I'm saying? He's going to give a little bit of leadership to the guys that's more of his stature, like the Roman Wilson, maybe even, Calvin Austin. I guess they're like the same age or something, but, and he's going to be able to come in there and fit that number 2 role without feeling like I got to be that alpha male in this room. I know this is DK's team. I could come in here, play the second, play the second receiver, be productive at it, and be clutch in moments where I need to be clutch, because DK is going to open up a whole lot. DK and Pat Freiermuth is going to open up a whole lot for other guys like Calvin Austin, Chris Olave, Roman Wilson. If he's going to get some time on the field this year, Darnell Washington, they're going to open up the field for guys like that and the opportunities. And our run game, I think, is going to be there on point this year. So we'll see what happens with that. You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. But that's just what I'm thinking. I'm just speculating on what can happen with having a guy like him. You said, again, not sure of the strategy with Olave. Arthur Smith uses tight ends. Why not trade for that position? Like, what tight end do you not like? I like Darnell Washington. He's a hell of a blocker. He can definitely get a lot better with pass, with as far as receiving goes, but he's a big ass guy and that can move pretty well. He's like a tackle that's faster than a tackle. I think we like that. I think the balance we got right now at tight end is pretty good. I would like to know what tight ends you think, Jumping? What tight ends you think that we maybe could have picked up, or even free agency wise, to come in and help that move? Because I think we got the guys that's there. I think we got a couple of guys. I do. The Jets game, you said watch Fields beat the Steelers and make Tomlin look bad for letting them go. I know he's going to come out on fire for sure. He's going to come out on fire for sure. I don't know. and it hurts me to say that but I like Justin Fields a lot. And I was real mad when Justin Fields left that team. I was so mad we didn't sign him. He's great. Justin Fields is great when he was healthy. When he's healthy, when Justin Fields is healthy, and if he can play through a whole NFL season, I think we messed up with Fields when we let Fields go. But enough on Olave. The end of the era, right? And then we're gonna segue right into that. Good thing you brought that up. I think we messed up when we didn't pick him up, and you would have heard this like if you would have been following me for some time now. Like I've talked about how important it was to sign Justin Fields and keep him around, and we didn't do that. We folded on that. But is this the end of an era, like for Mike Tomlin? Because and I only ask these questions because things like how much money Pittsburgh is not bringing in. Like Pittsburgh, I'm from Pittsburgh. It's very tight. Everything is so damn cluttered and close together. A lot of hills and everything. We could barely fit 90,000 people downtown for the regatta and shit like that. The boat show. That's the boat shows and everything. So I don't know how the hell we're going to be able to hold a million people NFL draft. I want to see how they're going to do this in Pittsburgh. I'm going to be intrigued to see that. I'm very intrigued to see that, to the draft for next year. But and looking at this, like there was this a graph that had came out on X, and I was looking at it like, damn, or the Roonies or they only make $1.2 billion a year, or he's only worth $1.2 billion. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, where's all that memorabilia? Like, all Steeler fans are everywhere. We pay for a lot of shit. Like, we like our Steelers gear. Like, at period, point blank, everybody buys it. Where is all this going to? Why are we not? Why are we so damn cheap? Why? Just that's just flat out. Why is it? And are these decisions really hurting us to the point where we may be looked at as being going downhill? Are we going downhill, Steelers fans? Are we really? Is this the end of our era? Is this it for us? Like, where do we go from here? So, because the quarterback position, right? Aaron Rodgers is playing games. And a real true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, let's just keep it real. You really don't want Aaron Rodgers there. You're like, I'd rather have Mason Rudolph there, get my ass whooped, maybe get a first round pick, or just play Will Howard and say, let's see what he can do, get him ready, and let's get a good damn draft pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, but where do we go? Because it's been, I don't not ever in my entire life remember feeling the way I feel as a Steelers fan. I've never been lost for words. I've never looked at my team and said, damn, what are we doing? I can't remember when that was. I just knew, like, we're going to play good football, and that hopefully we do. But I do think that he's trying to put that back in there. But I don't think Mike Tomlin got that. I don't believe that Mike Tomlin has that choice right now, because it's like there's a lot of people who want him out. And there's some people who's like, he's a great ass coach. And we had a lot of average ass teams, and he got the best out of these average teams. And it's a ton of shit. Like, how do you feel? Because I can't even speak. I'm at loss for words right now. To be honest, like, I'm sitting here at loss for words. Like, what are the fuck we doing? I can't even explain. Can't even get it out. I've never felt like this ever. We've never, like, this quarterback position is crazy to me, man. And so let's talk about that first of all. You said Pittsburgh should look for a hybrid tight end that can be used as an H-back, split out wide in the mid, traditional tight end. Justin Foyle from North Carolina State comes out next year. I like that. I like that, Katie. I like that. But yeah, I'm just at a loss for words with this show. I am, y'all. I've never ever felt like this, because we've never been played with like this. And this is not a good look for Aaron Rodgers. If he's going to come into this franchise, because I really could care less. Like, I'm like, fuck it, whatever. Let's play Mason Rudolph and a rookie, have a good run game, and take it from there. But then there's a whole slew of people that's like, we can't afford to lose games. We cannot afford to lose these games. We got to come out and play. We got to come out. You said you're going to hate this, but I think Tomlin only won with Cowher's players and a defensive coordinator and a culture with the Hall of Fame quarterback been mediocre for 15 years. You think I hate that, right? But see, I try to keep it real, like how I told y'all earlier. I keep it real. I try not to be with the fake. I try not to be fake. I keep it real. That's the truth. It's the truth. Mike Tomlin was handed the keys to a Lamborghini. He was. And after Bill Cowher's players fizzled out, I don't know if he really got back there. I don't know if we got him back there. And the time we got back there, the last Super Bowl we should have won versus Green Bay, we got cooked. We got beat. That was embarrassing. And I think we should have beat Green Bay. Call it what you want us to call it. But yeah, a lot of that was Bill Cowher's mentality. And his guys in there. How the hell did we let Mike Munchak walk out the door? One of the greatest offensive line coaches there is. Like, let's not forget that. How did we let him walk? Then Dick LeBeau, he walked out. Maybe he's getting a little old. I get that. Season out, but what are we doing? You can't let those guys go and do things like that. And look, I can't say that. I'm not going to sit here and say we need to get rid of Mike Tomlin because I don't believe that, but I believe there's something that's going on that I can't quite explain, or it's just not there. I'm not getting it yet. I'm not seeing it yet to speak on it, y'all. And I got to be honest with y'all. I'm not seeing it yet to speak on it just yet with our Steelers. It's like, because it's just speculating. Like, and I want to know. I'm tired of speculating on what could be and what can't be. I can sit here and say that Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin are on the same page. However, before Omar Khan, Mike Tomlin couldn't get his players in the door. But then we make decisions like what we made this year. Like, let's just keep it real. First of all, despite everything that I've put out about Shedeur and the truth and it's true, I'm not knocking on him. Whether you want to call it hating or not, it's just facts. But we do know that Shedeur Sanders is a serviceable guy. When you teach him the offense that he's going to run, despite him not really being in too much of a different scheme than what he ran for the past 6 years, that's really all he knows. But if we was to teach him the offense, or, in the Arthur Smith offense, he would be a good quarterback. We know he's going to be a good quarterback once he learns the offense, right? He's going to be a serviceable guy. Now, do you get him in the first round? Maybe not. Second, maybe not. But third round, I think he was worth it. Fourth, yeah, I think it was worth it. I'm not mad at who we picked in those spots at all. But we needed a damn quarterback. We did. We needed a goddamn quarterback. And if we're being honest, we're one of our owner is at the bottom of the list when it comes to how much money. And we're changing the name, and we might be going through some financial shit in Pittsburgh right now. Let's just keep it a buck. And he's going to bring a certain amount of publicity, sales, and attention to the Steelers. That's not the normal. I get it. But I don't think he's that damn bad also. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is that damn bad to where he was coming. He going, you know what I'm saying? Like, do some crazy shit in Pittsburgh. I do think that he's a player that keeps his head down, stays out of trouble. Yeah, he's flashy about the sport, as you should be. Yeah, he's flashy. He do that. Ain't nothing wrong with the personality. But I question that shit. And I sit here as a Steelers fan, and I'm like, damn. Now we waiting on Aaron Rodgers. A guy, and let's keep it real. A guy that's openly like, I'm about to go trip balls and sit in a tent, and then I'm going to come play football for y'all when I'm done tripping. Walking around the woods, butt naked, barefooted. Like, what? And I ain't even trying to be funny, but it's the truth. But we don't want to get somebody who's young, confident, flashy, and let's just keep it real. It's a fucking bank, a walking bank. Let's just call it what it is. I guess a lot of people don't want to hear that. And the truth, it is what it is. But y'all gonna have to give me a second, man. Y'all gonna have to give me a second because I gotta use the bathroom. And this never happened to me before. I'm gonna play an old little clip for like a minute and then I'm gonna get back to y'all. All right. Play an old clip real quick and then I'm gonna get right back to y'all. Give me a second. All right, that's in commercial. That's the fastest I had to run. Damn. Woo! Yo. But yeah, so is it where are we going? And what path do we go in as the Steelers? Where do we go from here, y'all? Are we not going to be winners again? Are we starting to look at our team as mediocre? Is that what we coming to? Because I don't think that none of us are on it. Teams that constantly change head coaches are always starting over. And I get that. We don't change head coaches. We keep guys around and let them build. I think you need to give guys, at least in college and NFL, you got to give these guys at least 3 to 4 years to get it together. 4 years, right? And some people may say 3. A lot of people out there are like, I don't know, trekking 3. But this is why I say 4 years for a head coach, for any coach. Because the first year is like a red shirt year, right? It's like a red shirt year. You know, you got to come in, weed out the bad players, see who's there, see who's balling, got to pick up between them, get rid of those guys, keep some guys, bring some guys in, put your experiment on the field, see what happens, right? Then year 2, you know what I'm saying? And then your first, then year 2, after your red shirt season as a coach or whatever, you know what you need to win. And a lot of those guys know your culture that you're trying to set and build. So now you bring in some more guys, renegotiate contracts, do what you need to do, fix the spots that you need to fix, draft your guy, boom. So now you done drafted twice already some of your guys. Year 3, that's when the expectations come, right? I need to be winning a playoff game in the 3rd year. You know, some people might say the 2nd, but I just understand the game of football and what's it take, right? So I'm like, all right, so by year 3, I need a playoff win. But for sure, by year 4, I expect to be winning maybe winning a Super Bowl, or at least being able to be one of the top 6 teams in the NFL. You know, losing a conference championship, I'm cool with that. But I'm definitely not cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say that. What's good, JB? What's good with it, fam? You said trucking a top QB and the Steelers are Super Bowl contenders. Do you? All right. Who's a top QB? Do you believe in Aaron Rodgers that much, Katie? Because look, we don't agree on everything, Katie. That's why I like it. I love Katie. She's my number one family supporter out here. Don't matter if nobody's here. She's here with me, rocking out. Period. There ain't gotta be 10 people in here, 100, whoever. Katie's here. So, but the thing is, like, does Aaron Rodgers win us a Super Bowl. That's like, you know what I mean? Like, we seen Aaron Rodgers last year. If Aaron Rodgers comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers, like, that's what I'm saying. Aaron, that's what I believe too. Rodgers is a washed up necklace, like, straight up. Like, look, like, straight up. Like, look, I ain't gonna go as far as to saying all that, but I'm gonna definitely say, like, he wanna eat shrooms and walk around the woods butt naked. That's what he wanna do. Like, go ahead and live your life, dog. Live your life. But, like, don't, like, what are we trying to set? What precedent are we setting? Like, is this Pittsburgh Steelers football? Are you trying to say this is Pittsburgh Steelers way? So we're going to get a quarterback who openly does this shit and says this shit. He openly does it. Don't care. You know what I mean? So for all that, we might as well just be like, dude, we might as well go get them Lawrence Taylor type of dudes, man. I'm about to go smoke this crack. I'm about to go do this. I'm about to go smoke a crack. Go do a line of this cocaine in the bathroom. Come out on this football field and light your ass up. If somebody said that shit, you'd be like, oh, no, I don't want that player. But he can go eat shrooms somewhere. Like, what the fuck is we talking about now? Like, what is we doing? What is we doing? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get it. That's why I'm like, yeah, we're a quarterback away right now, and that's why I look, man, as crazy as this is about to sound, and this is how I feel, y'all. I think we just need to rock out with Mason Rudolph and motherfucking Will Howard. I don't care with any. I know it's not the ideal thing unless we can get one of these veterans off one of these rosters somewhere. I don't know. But at this point, it's like we are shot out to really fall. I got to keep it real. We are fucking rebuilding. We missed our window. And this is why I feel bad for Cam Hayward and TJ Watt, because they have balled their ass off for us for all these years. And we cannot win these guys a Super Bowl. I just don't, and the reason why I say, and I'm trying not to be a fan right now. Of course, I want to come out here and say Will Howard might have a spectacular season. We know he's a winner and he's a serviceable guy, and the only way that he is going to learn is by throwing him out there in the NFL and us getting smacked around. Do we have that? But the one thing that I'm afraid of in that situation, though, Katie, is Mike Tomlin going to get fired if we do not have a 500+ season? Is he going to get fired? I don't know. And that's what scares me the most with that. That's what scares me the most with that, to be honest. You know, so that's where I'm at right now with this. Like, and that's just how I feel. Let's just go ahead and play them. Let's go ahead and play them. See what happens. You know, worst case scenario to me, man, Will Howard takes his bumps and bruises. He's a 6th round pick. Meaning that we didn't spend a lot on him. Let's see what he got. I think he's gonna give us his all. And he will get better. He will get better as time goes on. You know, but let's see what we can do. If we don't have a great season, we don't. But is Aaron Rodgers going to be a quarterback that's going to come in to the Pittsburgh Steelers and get us to the Super Bowl? Because to me, if Aaron Rodgers come to Pittsburgh, and I'm a fan, and I'm gonna keep it real as a fan, everything that he brings and everything else, like, we gotta win a fucking Super Bowl. If you're gonna bring Aaron Rodgers in, you better win a fucking Super Bowl. You better win a Super Bowl. No, not just a playoff game. No, we just don't want a playoff game. We want at least the conference championship. At least. Period, point blank. And can he do that? I don't think so. He wants his guys. He wants his offensive coordinator. He wants to eat shrooms in the woods. You know what I mean? Like, and this is just what it is. Like, and I'm not, this is facts. This is facts of what we know, what he brings when he goes to teams. Coaches get fired. Offensive coordinators get replaced. Wide receivers lose their jobs. He don't like really connecting with his receivers outside of football, and he might be a great guy. He might have been a great guy. But let me tell you, when you start taking mind-altering drugs, your mind ain't the same no more. So guess what, James Jones on Fox? AR-15 might not be the same guy. When you start eating shrooms and taking acid and shit, ask people. We know people who do that type of stuff. We know people who take those kind of drugs. Are they the same as they was before they start taking them? Let's just keep it real. They not. They not. They either shot and we got it saying like, oh, he done got slipped a Mickey, or and I don't know if y'all not familiar with that, but we got a saying in the hood like, oh, he got slipped a Mickey. That mean they not there saying they crazy. They be walking down the street talking to themselves because they got stuck in a bad trip. I've seen that happen to somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't know if they be dead or alive, shit like that. Like, it just be like, yo, like, we don't know. You don't know, like, or they're super like, man, if you just feel the wilderness, you know, the carpet beneath my feet, it just comes from a place way down in the Indian jungle on a tree where the silkworms are. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just be they like that, or they're shot, bro. It does give you, I guess it gives you clarity. I don't know, because I'm scared of shit like that. Like, nah, hell no, not that. Why would you want to take something that's fucks with your mind like that? Make you see like you just walking through. Could you imagine, like, you just walking through Walmart, you walk down the candy aisle while you on fucking shrooms or some shit. Now you getting chased by a giant Snicker. Get away from me, the Snicker's trying to eat me. The fuck, jumping on the register because you don't think you turned into a candy bar or some shit, getting scanned and shit. Could you imagine somebody balled up on a fucking counter about to get scanned? Like, what the fuck is, like, I'm just saying, like, I'm trying not to be funny, but let's just call it what it is. This is what he likes to do. He just on a football field, like, damn, I thought he was wide open. He threw a pick six. Look, man, I'm just saying. Yeah, right, exactly, Katie. Let's just keep it real and let me stop trying to be funny with it a little bit. Look at the mess the Jets are in right now. Look at the mess that Glenn is picking up and putting pieces back together after Rodgers left. If the Jets are a plus 500 team, Coach Glenn deserves a lot of respect. From me, he gets a lot of respect there from me. That's all I'm saying. What's up, Jen J? What up, Skull? What up, though? What up? It's good to see you. It's good to see you out here, man. I'm excited to see a lot of y'all back in the chat, man. JB, I had some new guys, some new people fly through. That's what's up, man. I ain't live enough to be getting a lot of views live, but so I ain't really tripping on that though. You know, I like doing this. But that's it, man. That's it. NBA. The NBA basketball. Who do y'all got out there real quick? I'm not gonna spend too much time on basketball. I didn't do my due diligence this week, a lot of it, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. I'm really not, because I just didn't. But I picked the Cleveland Cavaliers to win it all. Obviously, they got knocked out by the Indiana Pacers. I was sleeping on the Pacers. And the crazy thing about that is I really like Halliburton. I really like him because he plays defense. I like guys who can score, but I like guys who play defense. You don't get that a lot out of the guys in the NBA this year. So let's just call it what it is. Plus, I like the women's game better. Yeah, I like the women's games better. So what? Call me Saul. Call me what you want to call me, but you won't say it in my face. Anyway, OKC look real good. I would like to see OKC win it and take it all on the NBA side when the men Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but they run into a buzzsaw right now. Jokic is going off, and I don't know if they're going to get past the Nuggets, man. Game 7 is about to be popping off, and I don't know if they're going to win. I don't know. But I got so I'm gonna go ahead and say that I want the Knicks to win it all. I got the Knicks to take it all the way. I know they beat a hobbled Celtics team in 6 games, but the Knicks, I like what the Knicks is doing, bro. I like the Knicks to win it all. I'm going with the East Coast. I'm an East Coast cat. I got a bias. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. So I'm rocking with the Knicks. Period. I'm rocking with the Knicks to take it all the way. And that's all I got for NBA talk. Cause like I said, I ain't do my due diligence. And y'all know I do not like. You said, how about the Timberwolves? You like the you know what? I can't, like, y'all gotta forgive me because once I'm working the slides and behind the scenes, like I can't see all the comments. But I do like Ant-Man. I do like Ant-Man, but like I said though, I'm an East Coast dude. Like I got a bias. Like let's not fake the funk. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like let's keep it real. If you from the South and the Southern team is in the finals, Miami, Atlanta, wherever, New Orleans, and they in the final, are you gonna root for them? Are you gonna go? You know what I mean? Like let's just keep it real, y'all. Like we gotta start keeping it real with our biases. And although this is the fans' point of view, I do have a bias, and I'm gonna roll with the Knicks. I like the Knicks right now, and if the Knicks don't get it, then I guess I got the Pacers. You know what I mean? But I like the Knicks though. I do. But Ant-Man is something different. I really like the way he ball out, and they pretty close to the East Coast, so I like that. And so with that being said, I'm gonna move on. And y'all know I like the WNBA. Y'all know I be on that. Y'all know I be on the WNBA news. You know it. You know it. Them games is about to come on. Them games is about to start, right? But real quick, quick recap. I think the Atlanta Dream had took on the Washington Mystics, and them young girls putting out work on Brittany Griner and them. Ooh, Ryan Howard, Brianna Jones with the Atlanta Dream. You know, they got Alicia Gray now, Tahina Pow, Brittany Griner, Ryan Howard, Brianna Jones, Nia Coffey. They was they got listen, the Dream, they did good. They did good in the off season, but I don't think it was good enough. Cause I thought Sonia Citron was going back to college. She in the WNBA dropping 19. Let's talk about it. She came in dropping 19 points. And let's not forget Kiki Alfred from USC coming in there dropping 14. The Mystics is like, ooh. They came in balling on a tough Dream team. They only beat them by 4. It was 94 to 90, but still though, they are putting in that work. And I'm like, hey, yo, when I seen that, I'm like, yo, Kiki, they got Kiki and Sonia Citron. Like, damn, if they could get some shooters around them, which they got, and Brittany Skies and Suggs son, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Cause Sugg, look, she gonna play defense. We know that D is there scoring, and you be like sometime on off. But it was they first game. But you know, like Brittany Skies came out, and if she can do that all the time, man, let's forget about it. Forget about it. You hear me? Forget about it. And I thought they ain't really have a chance because rebounding. I thought they would get out rebounded, the Mystics, to be honest. I thought the Mystics was going to get out rebounded in that game. Wound up dropping it, but they wound up pulling it off. So, hey, let's talk about it, right? That straight up. And then, so we go back to the other games that was on with the WNBA. The Minnesota Lynx is looking crazy too. They looking real good, man. They looking good. I mean, when you but see, they're a more veteran led team too, you know, and that counts for a lot. And I really can't, and they're really not that super old. You know what I mean? They really not. So, but they balling out and they looking pretty damn good. I like them. I like that what they looking like. Don't really know too much about the team, so I really can't speak on them. But Paige, I thought Paige Buckner's was going looking good. You know, I keep an eye out for her. And I can't pronounce the chick's name. Y'all gotta help me with that. What is it? Enrique Ogbowale? Ogbowale? How you pronounce her last name? Enrique Ogbowale. I can't pronounce it. But you know what I'm talking about. Her. I will say this: once her and Paige get on the same page, they gonna be a fucking problem. They are going to be a fucking problem. Do you hear me? They are. And I thought that, this was one of the most, I will say this though. I thought looking back at the game and the highlights and the recap that I watched, I will say I thought that they played a complete game. I thought that other people tried to step up in certain positions. Like what's her name? Maisha Allen. She's, what I mean? I thought that when you got her getting 6 boards, I think she had like 11 points or 10 points, something like that in the game. But that was a more of a well-rounded game, I thought, out of them, and they still didn't pull it off. You know what I mean? They wound up losing. I can't remember the exact score, but they wound up losing the game. But I thought that was a more complete game there, though, to be honest. Now, the Valkyries is the Golden State Valkyries. I believe they're a new team. So they are a new team, right? They're a new team, and they took on the LA Sparks. I can't wait to see Rakia Jackson. I'm looking for her to have a big year this year. I really do want her to have one. Kelsey Plum and Rakia Jackson being there. They definitely going to put in the work, but we got to see what's going on. Yeah, and they got Sarah Ashley Barker too. And she had a couple points in the game, but the Valkyries is a team that's really just starting out, and their expansion team. So we got to give them some time to really build up and into something. So I'm not really expecting too much out of them this year, to be honest. We'll see what they turn into. But we got today, I think in like 3 minutes, we got the Aces and Liberty playing. Who y'all got? Jen J and Katie? Who you got in that game? The Aces or the Liberty? I think I'm gonna roll with I think it's a damn good opening game. I'm gonna roll with damn, I ain't put my bet in. I gotta put my bet in. I think I'm gonna roll with the Liberty. I think I'm gonna roll with the Liberty to win that one today. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but then we got the Storm and the Mercury playing. Seattle Storm and the Phoenix Mercury. I think the Phoenix Mercury will win that one. I don't know though. I don't know. That should be a good one. That's not until tonight. But the Sky and the Fever playing. The Sky and the Fever playing today at 3:00. That's a huge game. Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark play today at 3:00. That game is going to go down at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse. And Andy, it's going down. But I tell you what, Haley Van Lith, I don't know what she's gonna turn into. The Chicago Sky, I think they got some shoot. We know they got some rebounding. They got rebounding, they got paint play. But I just think Indiana's just Caitlin Clark's just different, yo. Caitlin Clark is just fucking different. Let's just call it what it is. You said the new Sky head coach Camilla and Angel on the floor at the same time now. That lane will be tough to penetrate. I think so. But I don't know. And I know the Ace is gonna be tough. So if I was putting my bread on them, who should I go with? Katie? If I'm putting my bread on them, you gotta let me know, because I'm about to put my bread on. But I mean, because it is gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tough one. But I know for sure though, the Sky, they about the ball. Like the Sky they gonna put up. I want to see what happens. But Indiana, Clark is just different, yo. She is, yo. She's different, yo. She's different. But I like Angel Reese. I like Angel Reese and Camila Cardozo on the floor at the same time. Fuck it, man. I'm rolling with the Sky today, man. I think the Sky might get one, man. Slip it in. But I know better, man. I fucking know better. I do. I ain't even gonna sit here and lie to y'all. Act like I don't. I know better against the damn fucking Indiana game. I know it. I do. I do know better. But I'm still gonna roll with the damn Sky. Because for some reason, you got a point with saying that though, Katie. They have not been on the floor at the same time, starting at the same time. Having those two on the floor at the same time might be a little bit damaging to that team. So we'll see what happens. Because we know for sure that a lot of second chance points is going to come with having them both on the floor at the same time. And Cardozo, it looked like she got a little bit quicker. this off season. I could be tripping, but it looked like she got a little pep in her step now. Like you could tell she been working for sure. She definitely been working. They, you know what I mean? She definitely been working. Most definitely she has been working. I don't know, like it. So I don't know. So I'm rolling with you on this one, Katie. I'm rolling with you on this one. Don't let me down. All right. Damn. We've been on here that long. I've been on here for that long. I just talk too much. So in the other news, before we get out of here, I'm gonna try to not spend too much time on this. Thank y'all for rocking with me, but I'm gonna get real. This is gonna be sensitive to some other people. I want to warn y'all right now. Put a whole disclaimer out there because I don't think that everybody's gonna be a super fan about what I may say or how I may feel on this particular thing. So, a couple years ago, 2023, 2022, somewhere in there, rapper Tory Lanez was convicted, lost trial, and went to prison for shooting Meg Thee Stallion, another rapper. And during that time of him being incarcerated just a couple weeks ago, well, just a week ago, was really right, a week ago or so, maybe not even that long, huh? He was stabbed 14 times while being in prison or whatever. And some new evidence had come to light in their case, in their whole case. And I will say this, and I wanted to speak on this because I feel like a lot of people are scared to. And guys, y'all know I keep it real. And this is just some other things that's going on in our culture. And it's been going around. And I know we all have looked at it. And I really want y'all honest opinions on this. Don't be shy to hold back on it. I just think that it was crazy that he got convicted for it in the first place. And it's scary. It's scary at being a man with this because I'm a father of a girl. I'm a girl's dad. Yes, I am. And I also have sons too, right? So I know how both sides of this can be. But to me, honestly, I'm like, how the hell did he get convicted for this? Because you don't find DNA on the weapon that he had, right? You don't find it. It was inconclusive, I should say, which is a fancy word of saying that you can't tie him to that because it wasn't on there. And there was no gunshot residue from the gun on him, but nobody else was tested for it. But all this was out before he even got convicted. And I'm like, how did he get convicted with that? Maybe a bad lawyer, right? But this new evidence had come out, and there's a bodyguard of the girl who said that she had claimed allegedly to had shot Megan Thee Stallion. And now there was a news press conference about, with Tory Lanez's father, organization, United the People, come out and they're trying to get him habeas corpus and get him retried and trying to get the governor of California to just release him out of prison. And I'm like, man, this just don't make a lot of sense to me. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, like the why he's sitting in there. And once again, I will say that I'm scared. This is a scary situation because if he can be falsely accused of something, what can happen to the average person like me that don't have everything that he has in his reach with all the money he has? Let alone, I look at this both ways. It's a scary situation because what happens to the woman that is really being abused or really threatened? If this, if this ain't true, like, And that's why we got to be able to have these tough conversations, and we got to stop running away from having them and saying, this don't mix with sports. This don't do that. This is that. Oh, I don't want to hear about this. I'm about to turn this off. We got to start having these conversations because this is really in our face. And you cannot say that you have not seen this, because I know y'all have. Now, have y'all overlooked the situation? Maybe. But I feel for the women out there that this might be happening to and maybe can't get the eyes or the help that they need, because there's so many other women out here that will lie on a man and say he did something that he didn't do. But then I feel for the man that may be like, I don't, because you shouldn't even be putting yourself in those situations with certain females anyway. But damn, how did you even go down? I don't want to get into all the conspiracy theories about the situation that I didn't, none of that. Let's stick to the point that just the facts of that, of what went on and how this could affect, and how further is this going to more divide men and women. If trucking comes on here and says, oh, these women, da 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 da. Now, women hate me, right? Because the situations that is put out here like that, but we got to be able to speak on this shit. And this is a very tough topic. And I think that's why a lot of people stay away from it, Katie. But see, that's where we got to start drawing the line and say we got to be able to have these conversations out in the open. Agree to disagree, however you want to put it. But I feel like there's a lot of people out there that feel like that man was innocent. Because I tell you what, yes, I'm an owner of a firearm, right? Period. The grips that's on these new joints that these new guns got, right? The grips that the new guns have, they're kind of a scratchy. I don't know. I can't even explain the material. But everybody has skin and particles on your skin that come off during the day. You dirty, you know what I mean? Your skin sheds where you can't see it to the naked eye, right? You scratch your hand, DNA is coming off into your nails. You wipe it against the wall, DNA is on the wall. You know what I mean? DNA is on the gun. DNA is everything. Everything. And your skin particles will definitely be on that. And they make those grips like that for a reason, just in case somebody tried to shoot somebody, throw it away, run away. That your DNA is on that. Period, point blank. Especially if it's yours. If you own that and that's yours, your DNA is on that. Period, point. There's no which way around that. There's no however saying no inconclusiveness at all. You cannot say something is inconclusive if that's what was his shit is going to be on there some kind of way. It can't be inconclusive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, and it's sad that he's sitting in there for real, because it's shit don't add up. There's enough in there to have reasonable doubt with that case. Now, y'all could look on it. I won't get in, you know what I mean, to get on. I just wanted to bring it up, and I wanted to speak my piece on it and say that we got to be smarter to look at these things and to say we got to have these conversations as adults and try to look out for when people are trying to divide us and put us against each other, whether it's white men versus white women, black men versus black women, because we all know what a woman should be and everything else. If you're spiritual, if you read, if you believe, then you know what you should be doing as a person, period, point blank. But the division that they try to put out there on us, and we fall right into those traps. We gotta be smarter than that to look at that shit now, because there's people who have agendas to use this and run away with it in whatever way they want to. But I choose not to do that because, number one, I'm gonna just be honest. Like, I have females are some of my most loyal supporters. I hate saying supporters, but family out here on these internet streets. So I would hate to come out here, and I would never do that. But not only that, I'm a father. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean, Katie. Like, every time you touch something, there's DNA on it. So there's not a, without a doubt, for it to be inconclusive. I don't even know how he lost. It's crazy. And that's what I was talking about way earlier when I say when a person of a stature has a certain amount of followers and is doing something out here, they can do no wrong. The woman, the chick lied on the Gayle King thing, and it was, and granted, everybody don't want to know you sleeping with, but you know at that point the whole world knew that you were sleeping with the man. There was no point in lying about it. Yeah, we kicked it. So what? Whatever. But it just didn't look good for her from the beginning. But nobody stopped supporting her. You know what I mean? Like, people pick and choose on who they feel like they want to support and who they don't. Like, nobody stopped supporting that chick. Like, what she did was cold. That's the lowest of the low you can go, to do that to somebody. To have them sitting in a prison for 10 years for something you know they didn't do. That's cold. But everybody's still supporting that, though. See, we can't be like that. And I think that sometimes you just need to stay away from it and just say what the heck you need to say to somebody and leave it at that. Or say how you be able to feel and leave it at that. But that's crazy, though. About that Cassie situation, I don't rock with the whole fact that he was beating her. I don't know too much about that. So I'm not going to speak on that. But I will say this: nobody's perfect, and people have been through things, been in relationships. You know what I mean? You don't know I'm not going to say that we know. You think you know the whole side of that, but you don't know. And I don't think in any situation that a man should ever put his hands on somebody ever. You know what I mean? A woman, because you just know you can overpower. I don't care who she is, right? Sometimes you might need, I don't know. I don't know what that situation may call for. So that you know what I mean? I don't know. But I know you learn. You live and you learn through things. But my main thing with bringing this up was really to say, to look at this and say, we need to understand the media, its biases, and how it uses and tries to control our behaviors. And it does. With the help of the internet. It does. And it comes out so blatant, and we got to get away from that. Got to get away from that and got to make better decisions. Men and women got to make better decisions on who you choose to lay down with in your bed or in a bed. Lay down with, period. Make a better decision on that. Know who you getting into. Know who you getting into it with. Know who you getting into it with, period, point blank. Like, men and women. Because it could work both ways. But nowadays it's like you gotta choose a side. Like, why? Why can't it? Why do you gotta choose a side? Why do you gotta be on this side or that side all the time? Why can't I like both? Why can't I like? Nah, I ain't saying that. Pause. Like, let me make this clear. Why can't I like both kinds of juice or both kinds of water? Why can't I support or talk about the woman's perspective in this situation, but also talk about the man's perspective in this situation? Why not? Who's stopping? Because gotta pick a side. And I could have swore that's how the main way you control things is divide and conquer. Ain't that how you do it? I'm not. I'm not the smartest apple on the tree. I'm not. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I swear that's how they did it. It's easier to control when I can put you here, put this group here, put this group here, put this group here. Now I can put this in this household, that and this. It's easier to control that way. But I will say this. I've been doing a lot of praying lately, and I feel a lot better from it. Feel like my relationship with God is getting a lot better, and I think that everybody else's should. I'm gonna leave it at that. Feel like I'm gonna try to bring something real to y'all before I get on out of here. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure I hit that like button. Thank y'all for y'all support. I'm gonna pray for y'all. Y'all pray for me. Peace, y'all. Have a good one. Enjoy your Saturday.